What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Leo's Nerd Talk, and today we're going to be talking about Megalopolis. So let's get into that. Hi, my name is Leo, and if you guys like time anything movie, TV show, video game related, or just anything nerdy, you have come to the right place. And like I said, today we're talking about Megalopolis. So without further ado, let's get into the review. Now, I went into this movie fairly blind. I don't think I ever actually saw a trailer at all. This was just kind of one of those movies that was very intriguing because of Francis Ford Coppola is directing it, and it seemed still kind of interesting. Like, I knew the slightest premise of it, of this kind of like utopia city type thing, but I didn't know much beyond that. So I went into this fairly blind, and that's always a kind of the thing I try to do more now, is just go into a movie very blind, not know the premise, and kind of see if it captures me as I'm watching the movie. But without taking any much more of your time, let's go ahead and get directly into my pros. And starting off my pros, I do like the cast that we got here. This is a very heavy hitting cast. We have so many amazing actors and actresses with this entire movie. Like, it seems like everybody that's in the cast is a A-list person. So I mean, I really enjoy the casting. I think performances across the board was just, something that I can't knock this movie for. Everybody, I think did a very great job. And for me, surprisingly, a standout was Shia LaBeouf. I did not expect Shia LaBeouf to be in this movie at all. And for me, he was definitely a standout. I think he played this kind of broken person fairly well, with kind of a deranged, crazy person in a way, which, I mean, kind of that's already his MO as is. But I was very surprised of his performance here, and I really enjoyed his character. And I do like the world that they kind of built here for us. This is kind of for the most part, it felt like a retro futuristic, like Roman Empire / like 50s era type thing. I don't know. It was kind of weird the way it was kind of all mixed together. But I really enjoyed the visuals, the costume design, the set design, just kind of this world that they kind of built within Megalopolis. I think they did a very good job of making it feel very futuristic, but retro, or kind of just old school at the same time. So overall, I think the world that we're kind of exploring before we get even to like the Megalopolis type stuff was done very well. And probably lastly, unfortunately, is I like the general idea of this movie. I think the idea is actually pretty interesting, of having this scientist that created the what is it called, the Megalon, like kind of there's like these things that help build cities, and they kind of build around what the people need, what the world needs, and it changes depending on what's going on and things like that. So it's like this very futuristic building material. It kind of reminded me of like Big Hero 6 of what the material is, how it just kind of manipulates and builds as it goes. So I like the idea of, Adam Driver being our main character here, or one of the main characters, wanting to use this material that he created to build a new world, a utopia where things feel perfect, where people can live in peace. And I like that idea of him trying to change the standards, while you have, the mayor of the city trying to keep everything the way it is, and just kind of build upon what they have, instead of completely, destroying the current world and making a brand new world and a new design as this utopia that Adam Driver kind of has in his mind. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into my cons. And one of the biggest cons for me, I think, is that this movie is very convoluted, very overstuffed. There's a lot of things going on here, a lot of plot points, a lot of different things that are interesting. There's a lot of intrigue for sure. There's definitely a lot of sequences that re-engage me into the movie, but I felt like there was just so much going on, so many different plot points to this one central thing that I feel like didn't get fully fleshed out either. So, like, you have Adam Driver trying to build Megalopolis, and then you have the mysteries of, something to do with his wife, and then you have his mistress and her going from him to his uncle and trying to take over the banks and the accounts that they have because they're rich. And then you have the mayor trying to stop Adam Driver's character, and then you have Shia LaBeouf trying to overthrow both of them. And then you have this whole subplot about this Russian satellite that is going to crash down, that has like a nuclear reactor in it, and that kind of just doesn't really go much beyond hitting Earth, and that's about it. So like, there was just so much I think, just going on, and nothing got fleshed out like it needed to be. There was very, very interesting ideas, very interesting plot points and sequences and things that definitely kept you interested and you were wondering where things were going to go. But by the end of it, I felt like nothing really ended in a very satisfying way. And on top of that, this whole thing, you're wondering when Adam Driver is going to make this megalopolis and make this utopia. And by the end of it, you really only see the utopia kind of happen in the last 20-30 minutes. And that's a little unfortunate, like maybe even less than that, So it just, even that storyline of him trying to make this megalopolis felt a little undercooked, and it didn't fully satisfy me by the end of it. And walking into this movie, one thing I was really looking forward to was like the visuals and the special effects. But watching this at the movies, it felt very digital, felt very green screeny, everything looked fake. And that's unfortunate, because I heard a lot of people saying that this movie is very dazzling and very pleasing to watch, but everything felt fake to me. It felt like every scene was in a studio in front of a green screen. That's how it always felt. Even when they were on like the streets and felt like they were on location, it still felt fake. There was something about the way the camera was shooting these sequences, still felt like they were not there. It felt like they were just in front of a screen and green screen the entire time. So visually, while it looks dazzling, it doesn't look impressive. It just doesn't feel as cinematic as people were making it seem. Everything felt a little too digital for me. And overall, I feel like the story as a whole wasn't as engaging as I wanted it to be. I find myself feeling a little bored quite a bit of the runtime, and not really feeling invested or engaged on what was actually happening. So like I said, I think the general idea was there. Just the execution for me was not there. It just didn't feel as impactful. It didn't feel like I needed to invest my time in this. And by the end of it, I walked out of the theater not really enjoying myself. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. Let me know what you guys thought about Megalopolis. Did you guys enjoy it? What are you guys' thoughts? I'd love to hear everything in the comment section down below. I had a whatever time with it. It was decent in certain sequences. Certain things kind of put me back into the seat of being invested, and then it kind of just falls off the rails again and again. But overall, I would not recommend going to the theater to see this, but that is obviously totally up to you guys. And again, if you guys like time with a movie, TV show, or video game related, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you.